wearing. I don't remember what you said. I only know I kept on looking long after you had turned your head. You laughed at something someone told you, and somehow I remember that. Funny how the smallest moments can stay when everything else goes black. I wasn't looking for somebody, I wasn't asking life for more. And suddenly I started noticing the things I'd never noticed before. Maybe it was nothing to you, just another afternoon. But something changed inside me the moment I noticed you. Now I find myself looking for you in every crowded room. I don't know when it happened, I just know I started falling for you. I learned the little things without trying. The way you say my name, the way you look outside the window when you don't know what to say. And I began to save the moments I would have forgotten before. A 5-minute conversation that I replayed when I got home. I could go back and tell me, don't be afraid of what this means, because the person standing beside you is about to become your favorite memory. Maybe it was nothing to you, just another afternoon. But somewhere in that moment, my heart made a room for you. And if you ever ask me when I knew that it was true, I won't know how to explain it, I'll just say the moment I noticed you.
If you only knew how many times I've started writing your name, then stared at the screen for minutes and deleted it again. If you only knew how often something reminds me of you, a song, a street, somebody laughing, a stupid little thing you do. You probably don't think about it the way I think about you, and maybe that's what hurts the most, because there's nothing I can do. If you only knew how much of my day belongs to you, how I hear your voice and things you never said, how I wish I had the courage to tell you what's inside my head. If you only knew, maybe you'd look at me differently too, or maybe you'd just smile till you never knew how much I loved you. I remember things you forgot, like the night you stayed up late, talking about your childhood and the dreams you couldn't name. You told me things so casually, like they didn't mean a thing, but I carried them home with me like they were everything. And maybe one day I'll tell you, maybe I'll never say a word. Some feelings are so fragile, you don't want them to be hurt. If you only knew how much of my heart belongs to you, maybe you'd stay a little longer, maybe I'd finally tell the truth. And if nothing ever happens, I'll still be grateful
getting late, I know we should probably go, but you're sitting here beside me, and I don't wanna know what tomorrow's gonna bring or where we're supposed to be. Right now the whole world feels distant and you're close enough to me. We don't have to talk about forever, we don't even have to make a plan. Just put your hand inside my hand and let tonight be what it is. Stay a little longer, let the morning wait outside. I don't need another moment if I've got you here tonight. We can talk about nothing, we can sit here in the dark. I just want to remember exactly where we are. Stay a little longer, don't say goodbye just yet. I know moments disappear, I just don't want this one to end. With your head on my shoulder, and I try to memorize the sound, because somehow the quietest moments are the ones I don't want to lose. There's nothing extraordinary about this room tonight, but somehow being here with you makes everything feel right. Maybe that's what love is, our fireworks in the sky. Just wishing 5 more minutes could last the rest of our life. Stay a little longer, let the whole world pass us by. I don't need a perfect future if I have you here tonight. And when we finally leave here, I'll carry this around, because I know I'll miss this feeling second we walk out. I've never been good at believing that someone could stay. I've always found a reason to push good things away. I know all of my bad habits, I've counted every flaw, but somehow when you look at me, I don't see them anymore. You don't tell me I'm perfect, you don't pretend I am. You just sit beside my worst days and somehow understand. It's the way you look at me, like I'm more than what I've done, like I don't have to hide the parts I'm running from. You don't have to say you love me, I can feel it when you do. There's something in the way you look at me that makes me wanna believe it's true. You notice when I'm quiet, even when I say I'm fine. You know when I need talking and when I need some time. And I don't know how you do it, but you make it feel okay to be the person underneath, the one I show the world each day. Maybe being loved isn't finding someone who thinks you're flawless. Maybe it's finding someone for me to finally see what you see in me. I've seen you when you're tired, when you're angry, when you're wrong. I've watched you shut the whole world out, and still I've stayed this long. You've seen me at my worst too. You know the things I hide, and somehow after all of it, you're still here by my side. We don't always get it right, sometimes we hurt each other too. But love isn't never breaking, it's knowing what you choose to do. I would still choose you on the days we don't agree, when we're both too proud to say the words we need to speak. I would still choose you when the easy thing is leaving, because I've learned that real love isn't perfect, it's believing. We've said things we didn't mean, we've needed time apart, but every road I've taken somehow brought me to your heart. And I don't need a promise that will never change, I just wanna grow beside you, even when the growing pains. If I knew every argument, every tear we'd ever cry, if I knew we'd both get older, if I knew we'd lose some nights, I'd still take your hand, I'd still walk through that door, I'd still fall for you like I never knew before. I would still choose you with everything I know today, not because we're perfect, but because you're worth the days. And if life gave me the choice between easy and true, I'd take every difficult road if it led me back to you.
Saw your favorite song today, playing in a coffee shop. For a second I forgot you're far away, and thought you'd walk through the door. I almost sent you a message, then I put my phone away. I don't know if you miss me, or if you've already had a better day. It's strange how someone can feel so close when they're nowhere near. I can go a whole day without seeing you, and still somehow find you everywhere. There's something somewhere between us that distance couldn't take away. You're living in a different city, but you're still part of my everyday. I don't know where we're going, I don't know when we'll meet again. I just know there's still a part of me waiting somewhere between us. Sometimes I wonder what you're doing when the night gets quiet there. If you ever look at your phone, hoping that my name appears. I remember your voice better than I should by now. And there are things I never told you that I wish I could tell you somehow. Maybe timing was never kind to us. Maybe we were meant to lose. But if you ever wonder, I'll never stop choosing you. There's something somewhere between us, something I can't explain. Maybe it's distance, maybe it's love, maybe they're the same. And if tomorrow brings you back to me, we'll know exactly what to do. I'll close the space between us and come running back to you. I found an old photograph of us from years ago. You were laughing at something I don't even remember anymore. And I wondered if someday I'll find it in a drawer and miss the people we were more than I ever thought before. Because time doesn't ask permission, it just keeps moving on. And sometimes I'm afraid of how quickly now becomes gone. So stay with me a little longer before we become memories, before these nights become stories that we tell to someone else someday. I don't want to waste a second wondering what could have been. I just want to hold you closer while we're still living in this moment, before we become memories. Someday your voice might sound different when I hear it in my head, and I'll wonder if I remember every word you ever said. So tonight I'm paying attention to the way you say my name, because I know even beautiful things don't always stay the same. I'm not asking time to stop, I know that's not how life works. I'm just asking for the courage to love what's here before it hurts. Stay with me a little longer before we become memories. Let me love you while you're here, instead of fearing what will leave. Someday all we have are photographs and old stories. I'll still be thankful that for a little while you were here with me. It's 2 in the morning and we're talking way too slow. You tell me about your childhood like I didn't already know. Outside the rain keeps falling against the window glass, and neither one of us is talking, but neither wants to ask when the world gets quiet. I can finally hear my heart, and somehow every road I've taken makes sense when you are in my arms. We don't need to say forever, we don't need to know what's next. Tonight you're here beside me, and that's enough for me. When the world gets quiet, I just want to stay like this. You fell asleep beside me halfway through a story, and I watched the room get darker while you dreamed beside me. There's something about your breathing that makes the whole night slow. Like for once I don't have anywhere I need to go.
I've slept in different rooms, but none of them felt like somewhere until I found myself with you. You don't have to say anything, you don't have to make me smile. I can sit beside you quietly and feel okay for a while. Maybe home is in a doorway, or a place we leave our keys. Maybe it's the person who lets you finally breathe. And when I'm with you, I don't feel like I have to be somewhere else. I don't need the world to change, I just need you here yourself. We've got nowhere perfect to go, and we don't need one tonight, because somehow every ordinary place feels right when you're by my side. I want the boring mornings, the grocery store at 8, the arguments over nothing, the dinner's running late. I wanna know what scares you, but we're both getting old. I want the life that isn't perfect, but is ours to call our own. If we lose everything someday and have to start again, give me your hand, I'll call it home, we'll begin. Because when I'm with you, I don't miss anything I've left behind. You make an ordinary life feel like something I was meant to find. So wherever this road takes us, whatever we go through, I don't need to know where home is, as long as I'm going there with you. If I could go back to the beginning, before I knew your name, before I knew the sound of your laughter, before you changed my days, I wonder if I'd recognize you in another crowded room. But something in me still remember that I was meant to find you. I've spent enough time wondering why certain people come and go, but if there's one thing I know now, it's you I'd never want to lose. If I had one more lifetime, I'd spend it finding you different roads, different cities, I'd still somehow make it through. And if I had to live it over, every mistake, every goodbye, I'd take the tears and all the waiting just to have you in my life. If I had one more lifetime, I'd choose you every time. I'd still remember that first evening, I'd still stay up too late, I'd still laugh at the same stupid jokes, I'd still make the same mistakes, I'd still hold you on the hard days, I'd still kiss you goodnight, I'd still be afraid of losing you, because loving you feels like that sometimes. And when we're old and tired and the years are in our hands, if you ask me if I'd change a thing, I'll tell